Today we're going to talk about the difference between an acute angle, an obtuse angle, and a right angle. Now I'm going to start with the right angle because it'll be easier for you to see the difference between an acute angle and an obtuse angle if you know what a right angle is. So I'm going to do my best to draw a right angle here. As you can see, it is, I'm going to make it a little closer there. It is perfectly straight. The reason why that's the case is a right angle will always be 90 degrees. 90 degrees means that it is going straight up and straight across. That means it's like a perfect corner of a square. And we actually show this perfect corner by drawing a box in the corner. That box right here says this angle is 90 degrees. It's perfect. It's like the perfect corner of a square. If you look at the square itself that this right angle is inside of, this right here would actually be a 90-degree angle. This right here would be, this right here would be, and this right here would be. Because as you can see, this is that same thing as that right there. Now, knowing that a right angle is perfect, a perfect corner of a square, let's look at what an acute angle is. I think of acute just as the name says. It's cute, it's small. So, it needs to be anything smaller than 90 degrees. So any angle like this one here, or something like this, and those should connect, but I'm doing as best as I can to connect those, or something like this, those are all less than 90 degrees because you look at your right angle and you see that this is straight up. This one is actually less. If it were straight up, it'd be about right here. So an acute angle is always smaller. So we're going to say always less than, less than 90 degrees. Now, with obtuse, if we know that acute is on the smaller end and the right angle is perfect, obtuse is kind of what we call the big guy. Obtuse is the big guy. So, if we know that's the case, we have to make sure that the big guy follows his name. He's going to be bigger than a perfect 90 degrees. Notice how this line, and I keep on doing that, but here we go, this line right here is not straight up and down. He's getting bigger. So it'd be the same thing as doing something like this. You can see he's bigger than that 90 degrees. He's bigger than that acute angle. He is as open as possible there. So let's do one last arrow to kind of show that. This is your obtuse. And that obtuse is always going to be greater than 90 degrees. So think about that. Look at the picture in front of you. Acute, obtuse, and right angle. They all have to deal with 90 degrees, whether they're perfectly 90 degrees, they're greater than 90 degrees, or they're less than 90 degrees. Remember, right angle has that box. He's perfectly straight. Acute is small. He's acute. He's smaller than that right angle. And obtuse is the big guy, bigger than that right